Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, we'll kick things off talking about Nintendo Switch emulation with Yuzu, and Yuzu just got a couple of updates. So for the PC version of Yuzu, as of mainline 1721, it allows you to import firmware from a folder of loose NCA files. A tool has been added to install firmware by selecting the folder that contains the firmware NCA files. The option can be found in the Tools section of the toolbox. And the paid testing early access version of Yuzu also got a brand new update. As of version 4150, they added a toggle to decide how much VRAM is allowed for games. And this can be found in your advanced graphics settings. There are two different options, conservative and aggressive. For the conservative setting, it allows 7 gigs of VRAM at native resolution to allow more VRAM depending on the scaling value. The higher, the more allowed, and this will prevent Yuzu from slowing down when used with third-party programs that require VRAM. And then we've got the aggressive setting, which I think a lot of people are going to try. It allows you to use most of your available VRAM for games. It reduces stutter from cleaning VRAM consistently on games. And it's recommended when the user has no other program required to be run. But wait, there's even more. As of early access 4156, there appear to be some Android improvements, specifically with Mali and Eclipse. And there's also an improvement here to VRAM usage to reduce stuttering in many games like Fast RMX, Fate Extella, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and Xenoblade. And for those of you wondering about the early access changes, they generally make their way to the free mainline build in a couple of days or possibly even a couple of weeks. The Yuzu dev team is usually pretty quick. Next up, we're talking about EmuHub, and EmuHub is a brand new free and open source emulation front end, and it just got its first release. Now I guess by first release, I mean 7th release, version 1.0.0 beta.1 just dropped. EmuHub features scraping support, automatic ROM scanning, automatic emulator detection, and on Linux only right now, automatic emulator installation. Mac and Windows will soon follow. And they take a very interesting ROM sorting approach. They say EmuHub prefers to organize games by relevant info instead of by system. As for supported systems, EmuHub currently supports the NES all the way up to the PlayStation 3, with more systems on the way. And for supported platforms here, EmuHub is available for Linux and Mac, and Windows is currently a work in progress. If you are curious about EmuHub, I'll drop a link to it in the description below and feel free to check it out. Next up, we're talking about Wii U emulation with Cemu, and Cemu just got a brand new release. So at the time of filming, Cemu version 2.0-66 Experimental is the latest release. This is experimental. Some stuff might not work as anticipated, but at the same time here, you get some new features. So for audio, they just completed a custom implementation for default device selection. Now this feature came about because of a feature request. The person says, I usually play on my TV, launching the games through Steam Big Picture mode. While doing that, the default audio changes to the TV instead of my headphone. The problem is that Cemu only has the option to select a specific device, and the audio still continues to play on my headphone. The ability to select the default audio device would be very nice, and well, the Cemu development team did that. The second update is another nice quality of life update. It makes the force exit key combo for various operating systems work when Cemu is running a game as a window or full screen. And the third feature here is for portable directories, and Cemu now behaves like Citra, Yuzu, and Ryujinx. It checks for the directory portable in the same directory as the executable. Next up, we're quickly talking about Xbox, and this one was a rumor for a while and now it's been confirmed. Grounded, Pentiment, Hi-Fi Rush, and Sea of Thieves are hitting the Switch and also PlayStation. Pentiment is releasing on February 22nd, Hi-Fi Rush on March 19th. Grounded is releasing on April 16th and will feature crossplay. And Sea of Thieves is releasing on April 30th and will also receive crossplay. The new Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree DLC trailer dropped today, and this is releasing on June 21st, costing about $40 US. Alternatively, if you're a massive Elden Ring fan, they do have some collector's editions up on the Bandai Namco website. I'll drop a link to it in the description below. These things are pretty expensive, up to about $250, and they do include some figurines. Next up, Nintendo had their partner showcase today, and I'll drop a link to this video in the description below, and I do recommend checking it out. Now, in the description of that video, they've got every single game showcased timestamped, so it makes navigating this whole thing a lot easier. And we can see some heavy hitters here: Monster Hunter Stories, Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed, Endless Ocean Luminous, and even more. So Monster Hunter Stories originally released back in 2016 on the 3DS, and now it's been remastered and fully voiced. It's also headed to PC and PS4. I didn't see any mention of PS5. And it will be released in the summer. As for Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed, this is a remaster of Disney Epic Mickey that was released back in 2010 on the Nintendo Wii. And this game is hitting pretty much every single system: Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, and also PC. And they're saying it's releasing sometime this year. Pocket Card Jockey Ride On was originally released back on the 3DS, and it's made by Game Freak, the studio behind Pokemon, and now it's been re-released on the Nintendo Switch, and it's set for $15. And the last game in the showcase is probably the one that's going to be talked about the most, and that's Endless Ocean Online. This is the third game in this series. I think the last game was released back in 2009 on the Wii. It's been a while. And apparently you can have up to 30 people playing at the same time online on this thing. If you've played Endless Ocean before, let me know in the comments below, and let me know if you're looking forward to this game. It's releasing on May 2nd, and it's a Nintendo Switch exclusive. Next up, this one's kind of interesting. The beta build for Hotel Mario, a game on the Philips CDI, was found at a Goodwill store. I'll drop a link to this video in the description below in the event that you wanted to see the beta in action and how it differs from the official release. To be honest with you, I'm not really a fan of Hotel Mario, but if you are, let me know in the comments below. I think from a game preservation perspective, finding the beta is pretty cool, and I'm wondering if it's gonna get dumped. And speaking about dumps and preservation and YouTube videos I recommend checking out. Next up, we're talking about Infinity Blade, and I'll drop a link to this video in the description below. This game has been ported to PC, and the description of this video has some interesting stuff in it. What's crazy about this is that Infinity Blade 1 was released back in 2010 on iOS by Epic Games. It was taken down, it was never re-released, and it's been a very hard game for people to find. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of it in the comments below. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.